Okay, guys. So I'm here today because I wanted to discuss something with you. Lately, there's been a lot of talk about, especially now, there's a lot of talk in politics and on the news about Hispanics, Latinos, and I'm hearing a lot of reference to our communities as they refer to white people. They say white versus black policies of white and black. There's always it's all you're always hearing white and black. But when it comes to ours, if you even hear them address the Hispanic community, the biggest minority group there is in the United States, they always say the immigrant community. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not an immigrant. I was born in the United States of America. I am a Hispanic American, and I get very offended when they try to put us as they just put it in a way of you have the black and the white people, and then you have that the aliens, the immigration, the immigrants, the illegal aliens, or as if we're almost to dehumanize us, and it really bothers me. And it's beneficial to the government that they don't give us a race. And I don't know if you guys are aware or if you've noticed that when you go fill out applications that are government documents or even job applications, there's the race category. When it asks you for your race, we're not listed on a race. There's white, black, Asian, and I believe now they have like Native American, Hawaiian, Pacific Islander. Well, we're forced to check white if we're even given a choice, because hospital birth certificates, when a Hispanic baby is born, the hospital administration staff chooses white, or they type in white on your birth certificate without even asking the mother. It's just policy. And there's a reason for that policy. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is basically let you hear me rant about this, but I kind of want to educate and inform, because a lot of people say, oh, what do I care what they think of me or what race I have to check off? Like, it doesn't affect my day-to-day life, but it does. Okay. It's an issue that goes to the heart of representative democracy in our country, how we count people, how we define race, and how those choices shape power in this country. I mean, guys, for decades, the United States has categorized Hispanics or Latinos as only an ethnicity, not a race, under federal standards established by, of course, the Office of Management and Budget, I think it's called, and it's implemented by, of course, census. On paper, this might seem like it's neutral, right? But in practice, it has produced deeply misleading data that affects representation, civil rights, and public trust. Under the current census, a Hispanic person is asked only two questions on paper. What's your race? And are you Hispanic or Latino? For millions of us, or millions of Americans, I should say, none of the racial options reflect how we socially are classified, historically treated, or politically impacted. As a result, most Hispanics are absorbed into the white category, while others are placed into what they call some other race, a classification that the federal government itself acknowledges it's kind of analytically weak. And it has consequences. Some of you don't think that any of this matters. You're like, oh, I really don't give a shit. But you should. It affects everybody of our culture, because it artificially inflates the white population of the United States. When Hispanics are counted as white, but we're treated as minorities by law, we create a statistical contradiction. It delays recognition of demographic reality, guys. It sustains the appearance of a white majority country long after that majority has begun to erode. It also dilutes our political power, the Hispanic political power. Voting right enforcement, redistricting, and civil rights litigations rely on accurate racial data, guys. I mean, when a large district population is fragmented across racial categories, its collective strength is understated. Our maps appear lawful, but effectively they're suppressing us and our representation. It distorts public policy and research, guys. I mean, it affects even your health, the health outcomes, educational disparity, income inequality, and criminal justice data. It becomes less precise when Hispanics are racially categorized wrong or misclassified. The policy decisions made for us by whoever's representing us, it becomes flawed because the data cannot produce equitable results if the data is wrong. I mean, do you guys follow what I'm trying to say here? Like, it does affect everyone, and it's important. Congress has to confront this. I feel like it needs to be addressed, and I'm surprised no one's done it sooner, because Hispanics are recognized as a minority when resources are allocated, but counted as white when populations are tallied. No other major group in the United States occupies this paradox. I mean, the framework the way they're doing this, it didn't come from science or sociology. It came from the administrative convenience and political power for white people in the White House and in America. Recognizing Hispanics as a racial category would have definitely reshaped national demographics decades ago. And it would have forced earlier conversations about representation, power, and equity. That's for sure. But avoiding this conversation, it comes at a cost. If you guys don't get educated on our culture, our race, and how important it is to have a race in the United States, because a census data is not it's not just a data collection exercise. It's a constitutional instrument. It determines who is seen, who is counted. It determines who is heard. When the census fails to reflect how people are racially perceived and structurally impacted, it undermines the very legitimacy of the democratic governance. It's not about it's just symbolism. No, it's about accuracy. It's about integrity. It's about whether our democratic institutions reflect the country as it truly is, not as we once wished it to be. I know that they want a white America, but that's not the case. If we committed to fair representation, effective policy, and equal protection for all of us under the law, then we must be willing to revisit how race is defined. I mean, that's just point blank, period. We have to revisit the race, how it's defined and measured. Continuing to rely on this data, this outdated data classification, it only perpetuates distorted data and unequal outcomes. A democracy, guys, cannot function on inaccurate counts of its people. Think about that. So the next time you guys are like, oh, I don't care what they categorize me as, you should, because if nothing else, you deserve to have your own identity. Why are we the only group that doesn't have our own identity? As if we're less than human or less than anybody else because they don't even care enough to give us our own racial box. That's horrifying.